Hello, day 250 of doing this. Coming up on a year. It's kind of crazy. I reading a new book. It's about real estate. I thought it would really help our company and also help me just kind of understand investing and how people think about it. And um, I think in general, the thing that's been going on with me for the last week or so is um, trying to get a better sense of what I want. And I think the hard part is I know a lot about what I don't want. Um, that part comes very easily. Um, it's just, I think I've kind of made decisions my whole life based off what I don't want. And that's kind of who I am. I'm a decision maker away from pain, not towards pleasure. And I mean, and Bezos talks about this too, about regret minimization. I mean, I think the hard part is like you, you at a certain point when you know everything you don't want, or you think you do, and you keep kind of following this like, you know, I don't want that, 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 like argument down, you eventually kind of start assuming you know everything. You like you know what everything's gonna feel like before you do it, and you only, of course, you only think about the bad parts of everything. You don't really, you minimize the good parts. And I think I'm really trying to push that down and don't assume that I know um, better. Don't assume I know ahead of time what it'll be like, and give it a full 100 days of trying it before I know better. And I think that's kind of like what's been opening my eyes a lot of these days that I've been doing this. It's like that's a big chunk of my life, of my decisions, of how I got here. Is, and not that here's bad, but that's been a big chunk of the whole thing, of how I got here. And I'm trying to dream bigger. I'm trying to instill bigger habits and bigger ideas and bigger dreams. I think part of the problem is I don't want many things. I kind of built this life that I have, and these relationships that I have, and a lot of therapy to like be happy. And you know, it's funny. Like I don't have these burning desires to like make a ton of money or like be this like rich and famous person. And I don't really want any of that stuff. I honestly don't think those lives are better than the one I have, but I do want to keep growing and pushing myself and, pushing my limits and being uncomfortable. And, it kind of puts me in a weird catch-22 where it's like, what do I want? And, how do I figure that out? And that's why I've been doing a lot of these like find your why and start with why, and figure out, read those kind of books. And they've been helpful. I think the whole point is it takes a long time to figure these things out for some people. Some people it's very easy, and I think those are the people we all gush about. We all like wish we were. And my wife's like that. And by the way, it's her birthday today, so happy birthday, Carol. Um, but it's never been easy for me because all I think about is what I don't want. And even within the things I do want, I always think about the things I don't want. And so it's really hard to make a decision or have an idea of something that's a really good idea, because there's a lot of don't wants along the way for anything. There's 100 times more don't wants that I can talk about or think about or point out to anything than do wants. It's very hard for me to actually figure out any of the do wants, you know. The don't wants are just so simple and so easy, and they just roll out of my brain. So, but I do think it's good to have a goal, good to push myself, good to grow, good to be uncomfortable, good to learn, good to, you know, get to the next like level of life. I just haven't really picked apart what that exactly means. You know, I think this pad stats thing, you know, I think it has some potential. I'm starting to like really, it's, you know, we still don't have any customers, ironically. We're, you know, I 250 days into this without a customer still. But we're really close, honestly. And we've built it in a way that's very scalable, to do many functions for users, without a lot of added work or cost to us. So it's all there, all the pieces, and we're getting really close. Sean's like got the model pretty much as good as he can think of how to make it, and we're doing this whole KNN thing right now, and we'll figure that part out. But it's you know, that's a big piece of it. I think I want to help people. I want to influence people to do better, to do more, to try harder, you know, to achieve their dreams. I don't think I really fully grasp how to do that, though. You know, I was kicking around the idea of joining the, like, you know, giveaway pledge. I know it sounds stupid. It's a crazy idea, you know, but I need to dream big. This idea of being able to give away a lot of money in the future sounds interesting. I think part of this comes from my parents. My parents are both engineers, and I think when I was growing up, I wanted to be an engineer. When people asked me, when I thought about it, I saw the world through their eyes very easily. Like, here's a problem, let's work on a way to fix it or solve it. And I think the ironic part is I didn't think I was good enough to be an engineer, for most of my life, including when I got into University of Michigan and went there and didn't do very well the first couple years, and then I figured it out and got better. Another thing that I, you know, thought I was going to fail at and did better and figured it out. But I think the funny thing is, eventually I realized that I can be an engineer, and I can be one of the best engineers, you know, in my company or on my team. And I always keep assuming that that's my ceiling, you know, like that's the ceiling I've built for myself. That's like what I think my total potential is or was, or, you know, historically. And it's not. I made it up. I made up my ceiling, and maybe my ceiling's 10 times higher, you know, but I've never like thought bigger about it. And that's really, you know, got me thinking about all this stuff. Like, what is my ceiling, and what am I doing to push for it? And I think the part that I'm still stuck on is, I don't think I have a tangible thing that I strongly believe in. I you know, along with regret minimization and not, you know, not knowing what I want, that part of my life is not very good, not very well thought out either. But I think the fundamental thing I need to believe that I'm working on, I'm close, is that most of my life I believe that everyone else can do everything as good as me or better. And so it kind of puts me in this weird scenario where it's like, why try? What's the point? Why start a company? Why do anything? Someone else can do it better than you. Who cares? And the belief I need to have in order to like not do that is to trust that I can do it better. You know? Like, and kind of what got me thinking about this is like, what if Jeff Bezos said like, I'm just gonna be a finance bro. Someone else could build the everything store. Like, that's fine. Like, on some level, someone could have, and maybe it was as good as Amazon is. There's a lot of what ifs, like, but at the very minimum, when you break it all down, at the very minimum, what is the decision? Like, let's pretend there's 100 Jeff Bezos sitting in a room, and 99 of them decide to not start Amazon. They just keep their day job. And one of them decides to do it. The one that decides to do it, is he better or worse than the other 99? Like, the point I'm trying to make is, like, at some point, it's not about who's better at it or who could do it. It's about me, and it's about my life, and it's about what I want. And I don't think I fully know what I want, but I'm starting to care less about if someone else could do it better, and starting to say, it's my life, I want to do it, and maybe someone else can do it better, but I'm going to find them along the way, and I'm going to try to beat them or have them join my team. Like, I'm going to think of it more as a game I'm playing rather than a scarcity exercise where only one of us can win or something. Like, I think there's something there where it's like, if I choose to believe I could beat everybody at this game, or that me playing makes the world better rather than me not playing makes the world better, that's where it starts to get interesting, because that's when I start to go, oh, okay, the world's a better place if I play, not if I don't play. And I don't think I fully understand why the world's a better place. I think that's like another thing I had to work through. But I know this is kind of weird and abstract, but these are the kind of things that, like, if I can figure this part out, this is how I did therapy. So if I can figure this part out, then I have a very strong dogma to keep me moving and keep me understanding what I'm doing, and how to, like, stay motivated. And I've really, like, built up my happiness from scratch. Like, I've been in therapy for almost 10 years now, and I've gone through many phases of it, but I know 100% that my happiness is a choice that I'm making every single day. And I know that for a fact. And it took me quite a while to get there, but I no longer think of life as this like obstacle or penance or something. Like, it's a gift, and I'm here. There's a 1 in 3 trillion chance that I'm here right now, so I might as well enjoy it. And it took me a long, long time to get there, but that's how I got there, is by struggling through these, like, weird thought experiments about why and how and what. And I need to do a little bit more digging, but I think I'm getting close to saying, okay, why and how do I want to build pad stats? Why and how do I want to be helpful to people? Why and how should I choose to do this thing and reach higher and dream bigger, knowing that I'll be competing with other people to achieve those dreams? And I think part of me is scared to compete, part is scared to fail. I think I'm warming up to the idea that failing is learning, and I like learning. It is painful though too, and so it's not as fun to fail as just to win, because it's painful. But it's it's not as fun to learn something than to not. But I don't know. I want to be like the people I'm reading about. I find them very interesting, and I don't think they're happier than me, ironically. So I'm trying to be careful with the, like, it's not a happiness goal. It's more like a challenge, it's challenging myself. And I like being challenged. I think the hard part is, like, at a certain point you don't want to be challenged anymore, that when you start to not do well. But I think on the surface I want to be challenged, and it's an interesting way of doing it, of challenging myself. It's effectively like playing the game of capitalism to the highest degree possible. And I've never really thought about life as that the point of life to do that. I don't think that's the point of life, but I think that's a way to spend your life because it's fun. But like I said, I'm still kind of wading through it. Like, what if someone's better at this thing than me? Like, so if I go buy a house and it's a rental property, it's an investment property, and I buy it today, and let's say I make some money on it and rent it for the rest of my life and whatever. If I didn't do that, somebody else would buy it, and that would be their money. And since I bought it in the first scenario, it's my money. Is the world a better or worse place? Or, am I better or worse? Or is it fun for me or not? Like, is it all a good or bad decision? I don't know. Does me doing that or someone else buying it matter? Does it change anything? And my first argument was always, that person probably wants it more than me, probably cares more, probably would do more, they should have it. I don't need it. I'm fine. But now I'm starting to first of all say, to the Jeff Bezos argument, it's like, what if I'm one of the 100 Jeff Bezoses and I'm choosing to be one of the 99 that says, I'm cool, I'm just going to stick with my normal job. And one of us decides to go be the real Jeff Bezos and run Amazon. But what if there's certain circles that know Jeff Bezos step up and take control? Or what if there's certain circles where certain Jeff Bezos are better than other ones? Or what if I'm one of the Jeff Bezos that raise their hand and I do more with that ability? Maybe I give away more or something. I think I get lost in the competing part of it rather than the journey of it and the experience and the fun and I guess I should. I mean, this is what kids have done to me. This is because I get in these arguments with myself. But if I think of it from a perspective of who's going to help my kids grow more, develop more, achieve their dreams more, me being Jeff Bezos versus some other dude being Jeff Bezos, I think is more helpful to them. I don't know. I could be wrong. And that's where it's like, am I being selfish or am I actually helping? Is this actually for them or not? But part of me says to myself, okay, being super powerful, motivated, and understanding how the world works is probably a really good skill to teach my kids to be powerful in the future for their own sake in whatever way they want to be powerful. Maybe I should lean into that. Maybe I should raise my hand and try to go be Jeff Bezos so that I can give that to them in some form versus give them a lot of sigh and shrug. And I want them to attack life. I don't want them to be defensive. And that's because that's who I am. I don't want them to be like me. I don't want them to be scared of decisions in life. I want them to go and get what they want. And I want me to do that. I think that's how I teach them how to do it. I think I just don't know what I want. I get lost in these circles of what's better, what is a better life, how do I optimize? And I think it's because I'm focusing on the downsides. I'm focusing on the things I don't want, away from pain. So I get in these weird circles. So I don't think I have it solved yet, but I'm getting closer. I mean, what would the best mentor, leader, teacher of my kids look like? What would they do every day? How would they act? What would they achieve? What's their day like? What books do they read? How do they spend their time? I feel like the answer is they're Jeff Bezos. and not to the same degree. I'm not going to be like neglecting them, or I'm not commenting on anything about his kids. I have no idea, but I'm just saying, I think it's better to be fighting to climb the ladder for my own sake, to help teach them how, when and if they ever want to achieve that thing or move up the ladder themselves or play the game themselves. I should know how to teach them how to play it. So maybe that's something. We'll see. Yeah, what if I teach them? What if my goal was to become really good at this game so I could teach them how to play it? I mean, they're already set up for probably for life. I don't know. Like, I mean, we have plenty of money. It's not about that. I think it's just about trying to give them as much as I can, give them as much resources as I can to help them. So, yeah. I think I've gone through probably a month or two demotivated, de-energized, no discipline, time. And I think I'm going to get back into it and be more energized and be more disciplined and be more excited to learn and grow and be uncomfortable. So we'll see. But I think that's all the time I have today. I got to get back to work. Yeah, thanks for hearing me out here while I figure this out. This is hard for me. These are hard things for me to work through because it's just so not me. It's uncomfortable. Okay. Have a good day.